Many people say offline marketing is dead and online marketing is the latest trend and you have to leverage all your way to do your marketing online. Do you agree with that? Hi everybody, this is Shan here, and in this video, let's discuss whether offline marketing is dead. Well, to me, marketing can be done anyway, whether offline or online. It's just a matter of whether you have been doing it, applying it effectively. So while a lot of people will say, hey, we have to go into online marketing, Facebook marketing, even Google Ads, or even any form of reach out through online system, through online platforms. Is that true? And is that true that offline marketing is dead? Is that true that offline marketing can never be working for us anymore in any kind of industry or in any kind of business? Well, my answer to this question is basically it depends. It is very much depending on if you're applying the right system, if you're applying the right strategy in your offline marketing. On the other hand, even if you are leveraging on online platform, for example, Facebook marketing, if your strategy is not right, if your strategy is not correct, then you will not be able to succeed. So same thing goes to offline marketing, in my opinion. If you are able to use it, leverage it in the correct way, in the most effective way, then offline marketing is not that. So the answer should be, it depends, and it could be right and it could be wrong. So it all depends on how we actually use it, how we actually set the whole campaign to target our audience at the end of the day in our offline marketing. So what can we do in our offline marketing? I'm going to share with you a few examples in which I think it can be effective when we apply offline marketing for our business. Well, a few years ago when I wanted to reach out to my business in family portraits, that was the very first time I started to diverse my focus from weddings to family portraits. And I remember that was just a few weeks before the Chinese New Year, in which in our country, Malaysia, is really big, is a big festive season that a lot of Chinese people will actually celebrate this New Year together. So Chinese New Year is important in our country over here in Malaysia. So a lot of people come together as one big family to get their family portraits done in a big group, in a big size. So to me, that is a best opportunity if I want to venture into family portraits. So what did I do and how I actually use offline marketing to target my audience? Well, basically over here, for that time, I used newspaper. So to a lot of people say, hey, newspaper is gone. Newspaper advertisement is no longer there and it will never serve you the purpose. But if you remember, if you come back to the whole purpose of the targeting audience, basically newspaper, perhaps in my country still, or community paper, they are still serving right towards the older generations. That means people who are slightly older than us, senior people, maybe perhaps like 60 and above or 70 and above. Just like, for example, my parents are still a firm believer in terms of reading newspaper as a daily activity. So newspaper is important to them instead of going online, instead of reading news through Facebook, for example. I mean, I'm not saying that older generations don't use Facebook. My parents do use. However, newspaper, the old type, the classical type of media is still workable on them. So if you are targeting for family portraits, for example, then a lot of older generation people will actually treasure their family time, will actually treasure getting together with their family, with their children, with their grandchildren, coming together in the studio for one whole big family portrait picture. So that is the time, it is the best time that we actually target this group of people through newspaper. So guess what? I actually advertised 2 times in my local newspaper and the result, to me, well, not too bad. I've got, if not mistaken, if I remember correctly, I got 7 bookings through the newspaper cutting. So that was my experience using advertisement. Last but not least, but let me share with you one fine example which I've concluded in the last month of 2019. A friend of mine organized a hash run, and that attracted about 700 over people, participants all over Malaysia to join this run in my city, in Kuching. So he asked for a sponsorship for photography. So what I could think of was to basically to offer each and every participant a voucher, in which this voucher will entitle them to earn a free photo from us, from me, from my studio for a family portrait sessions. So of course, 700 over of them, not all of them are from the same city, and what I needed was to target those who actually come from my city. So out of 700 people, 40% of these participants are from my city. So my target market will be this 40%, which is about 300 people, 300 participants, just to get them on board to come to my studio for a family portrait session, which they will claim one free photo. If my vouchers, if my offer will be able to track these 5% of the participants, that means in rough idea, in draft, I basically have about 15 families that come on board, come and join me and claim a free photo from me. So upsell will begin from here. Imagine 15 families and average, if my revenue is $2,500, so what would that be? If my revenue is $3,000, how can it actually translate into dollar and cents? So this is a one fine classical offline campaign we can conduct, we can do, in which we will still be able to get something good in return if we run it correctly, if we actually do it effectively. So the base idea is to be able to target the right person, target the right audience, to serve the right people we want to serve. So to me, offline marketing is not that. It depends on how we work. It depends on how we apply on each and every campaign we want to use, we want to leverage on, and of course the platform as well. While we are heavily going into online marketing nowadays, don't forget, offline marketing can do wonders for you. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it, share, and comment. Let us know what's your biggest takeaway in the comment box below, and I would like to hear from you. Tag two of friends whom you think they will be able to use the same tactic for offline marketing to target their audiences. Till then, I'll catch up with you. My name is Shen, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.